12,100 megawatts. Today, it is 2,34,600 megawatts. To ensure the dignity and safety of women, I promised the Nirbhaya Fund and put rupees 1,000 crore into the fund. So far, we have approved 2 proposals that will receive support from the fund. Government has therefore decided to walk the last mile and close the gap for all retirees in all ranks. I'm happy to announce that government has accepted the principle of one rank, one pension for the defense forces, 5,000 crore. In order to promote entrepreneurship among the scheduled castes and to provide concessional finance to them, IFCI will set up a venture capital fund for scheduled castes. I propose to provide an initial capital of rupees 200 crore, which can be supplemented every year. PP model must be more widely used. New financing structures must be created for long-term funds and pooling of investments. 6, we must focus on manufacturing and especially on manufacturing for export. I propose that all taxes, central and state, that go into an exported product should be waived or rebated. I also propose that there should be a minimum tariff protection so that there is an incentive to manufacture goods in India rather than import them into India. 7, given the limited resources and the many claims on the resources, we must choose the subsidies that are absolutely necessary and give them only to the absolutely deserving. 8, our cities will become ungovernable and perhaps unlivable if we do not address the decay in our cities. Cities have wealth, cities also create wealth. That wealth should be tapped for resources to rebuild the cities with a new model of governance. 9, skill development must rank alongside secondary education, university education, total sanitation, and universal health care in the priorities of the government. 10, states have the fiscal space to bear a reasonable proportion of the financial costs of implementing flagship programs and must willingly do so that the central government can allocate more resources for subjects such as defense, railways, national highways, and telecommunication that are its exclusive responsibility. Madam, revenues are of paramount importance. The best source of revenue is taxes, and for that we need modern tax laws. I am disappointed that we have not yet been able to introduce GST. I leave it to you to answer the question, who blocked the GST when an agreement on the game-changing tax reform was around the corner? We have also got ready a direct taxes code that will serve us for at least the next 20 years. I intend to place it on the website for a public discussion without partisanship or acrimony. I appeal to all political parties to resolve to pass the GST laws and the DTC in 2014-15. Our government has passionately espoused the cause of science, promoted scientific research, and supported scientific applications and inventions. The Income Tax Act allows deductions for expenditure on scientific research, but it is limited to direct funding. We have reflected on a new approach to funding scientific research. I therefore propose to set up a research funding organization that will fund research projects selected through a competitive process. Contributions to that organization will be eligible for tax benefits. This will require legislative changes which can be introduced at the time of the regular budget. Madam, there has been much debate on illegal offshore accounts held by Indians. Investigations into such accounts were launched in 2011. Despite several hurdles in obtaining evidence from the countries concerned, the government has succeeded through alternative methods and special efforts in obtaining information in 67 cases. An action is underway to determine the tax liability as well as impose penalty. Prosecutions for willful tax evasion have been launched in 17 other cases. More inquiries have been initiated into accounts reportedly held by Indian entities in no-tax or low-tax jurisdictions. In keeping with the conventions, I do not propose to make any announcements regarding changes in the tax laws. However, the current economic situation demands some interventions that cannot wait for the regular budget. In particular, the manufacturing sector needs an immediate boost. Hence, I propose the following changes in some indirect tax rates. To stimulate growth in the capital goods and consumer non-durables, I propose to reduce the excise duty from 12% to 10% on all goods falling under Chapter 84 and Chapter 85 of the Schedule to the Central Excise Tariff Act for the period up to 30/6/2014. The rates can be reviewed at the time of the regular budget. To give relief to the automobile industry, which is registering unprecedented negative growth, I propose to reduce excise duty as follows for the period up to 30/6/2014. Small cars, motorcycles, scooters and commercial vehicles from 12% to 8%. SUVs from 30% to 24%. Large and mid-segment cars from 27 or 24% to 24 or 20%. Consequently, I propose to make appropriate reductions in excise duty on chassis and trailers. The rates can be reviewed at the time of the regular budget. To encourage domestic production of mobile handsets, which has declined, and reduce the dependence on imports, which have increased, I propose to restructure the excise duties for all categories of mobile handsets. The rates will be 6% with SENVAT credit or 1% without SENVAT credit. To encourage domestic production of soaps and oleochemicals, I propose to rationalize the customs duty structure on non-edible grade industrial oils and its fractions, fatty acids and fatty alcohols at 7.5%.